Let's just play Roger Cook as he seems to set about insulting JD Vance. This was his brilliant contribution. He called, we don't have the clip, but he basically sat there and was asked one word that sprang to mind when he was, when the words JD Vance came up, and he said, knob.
Yeah,
terrific. What a great bloke.
And he got, you know, a sort of a couple of laughs from the leftist audience there. He was playing up to that. But again, it shows you just the calibre of the state politicians we have. This man's the premier of a state.
A state that should be that close to the USA. It's got all the same minerals, all the same values.
But never mind that. It doesn't matter whatever your own personal feelings may be. We're talking about the US president and vice president to be sending insults their way in a public forum when your state may want to have some significant business dealings with them. It is just so ill-advised. It's so juvenile. It's so reckless. And for what? To get a few laughs from an assembled pack of lefties there? It was just idiotic is what it was. And that's why I just feel so bad for people across the country, because it's not just WA, it is just about every state. The calibre of the politicians we are getting pre-selected, the actual the administration side of the Liberal Party, there's something hopelessly broken there. There needs to be a change. We need to have the party and its candidates reflect the values of people who actually vote for them.
Absolutely.
Then we might have some change.
But Robert, don't forget the West Australian Premier to call the Vice President of the US a knob when we are trying to get the AUKUS agreement across the line. Many of those subs will be based in Western Australia. And you talk about...
They're trying to dodge tariffs. They've got back to put tariffs on aluminium and steel. You've got a resources state where the Premier is making those sorts of insults to... and JD Vance is probably going to be the next president.
Exactly. There was, James, but you're right, James, there was a sub in Perth.
Right.
So they would have been sitting there going, sorry, what did he call him? What did he call him?
As bad as state Labor are...
Get JD, he just called you a canard.
Jim Chalmers was asked what he thought about Roger Cook's comments, and Jim Chalmers wasn't much better. He said, well, I would have used a different term, failing to condemn those comments. Yeah. So it's just bad all round, whether it's state or federal.
Australia is literally at a crossroads at this next election, guys. Australia has the choice of either getting behind the entire Trump American agenda, which we are the natural partner of America economically, mining, agricultural, values, our history, our heritage, our economies, our military, everything says get behind the Trump agenda. And yet the Albanese, the left-wing, wall-to-wall Labor governments that we have loathe America, can't barely disguise their hatred for all things America. So Australia is at a crossroads. This next election, folks, we go one way, the way of prosperity, the way of up, in other words, let's make Australia great again, or we go the way of down, which is the way of more left-wing misery, more left-wing impoverishing ourselves, climate hysteria, woke garbage. This is where we sit, Australia. Within the next 6 weeks, we have to decide, do we go up or do we go down to impoverish ourselves and turn ourselves into the Venezuela of the South Pacific? Let's have a listen to Roger Cook. We've got him. We found him. Here he is. Let's go for it.
JD Vance is a...
knob. Sorry. You've got to have one unprofessional moment, don't you? That was it.
Yes, well, West Australia, well done. You've got an unprofessional moment for the next 4 years of a Labor government. What a farce, seriously, Rita.
It is, and what you just described, you don't have to imagine it. You only have to look at certain European countries to see what happens if you don't go the path that the US is about to take, where you go and completely cripple your economy, self-inflicted damage with these insane green madness that we've signed up to with net zero, where you, especially for a country like us, because you look at Germany, they're not sitting on the world's biggest reserves of uranium. They're not sitting on enormous amounts of coal and gas. Yeah. We should be the most prosperous country in the world. Our citizens should be enjoying the cheapest energy prices in the world. Instead, we've got some of the most expensive. Our manufacturing industry is completely crippled by these high energy costs. We've already got high wages, which they have to compete with overseas. So it really is a crossroads, and we have so much going for us in this country. Let's not botch it.
We're throwing it all away, James. WA should be about dig, baby, dig and drill, baby, drill. That's what WA election should have been about. And seriously, instead they've got the Woggle, who's a rainbow serpent, stopping people from putting a concrete weir across their creek. Seriously, what a joke. People will look back in history and go, these people were insane.